Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to solve day 18 problem of this month on LeetCode. Before starting, if you guys haven't subscribed my YouTube channel yet, then please go ahead and subscribe it. Now without any delay, let's get started with today's problem. Problem number 1931, painting a grid with 3 different colors. So this problem is marked hard by LeetCode, but don't worry, by the end of this video you guys will find this problem very easy. Okay, and with help of this problem you guys can also solve this problem 1411, number of ways to paint and into 3 grid. Okay, both problems are little bit same, right? So first let's understand this problem 1931, and this problem 1411 is your homework. Okay, so now let's first read the problem statement of this. You are given two integers m into n. Consider an m into n grid where each cell is initially white. You can paint each cell red, green or blue, and all cells must be painted. We have to return the number of ways to color the grid with no two adjacent cells having the same color. Since the answer can be very large, we have to return it modulo 10 to the power 9 plus 7. Alright. Now see this example number 1. So here m value is equal to 1 and n is equal to 1. Okay, so m is nothing but the number of rows and n is nothing but number of columns. All right, so something like this. Okay, so here you have three choices, right? You can fill this with red color, you can fill this with green color, or you can fill this with blue color. Okay, so you have three choices here, so that is why output is 3. The three possible colorings are shown in the image above. Okay, so here you can paint each cell red, green or blue, and all cells must be painted. Okay, so here we have three choices, so that is why we have to return 3. Okay, we have to return the number of ways to color the grid with no two adjacent cells having the same color. Okay, so in this case there is no problem of this adjacent cells, right? Now see this example number 2. Okay, so now our grid is like this. All right, so here in this cell I can paint it as green, I can paint it as blue, right? And I can paint it as red. Okay, these are the three choices. Okay, so here I have three choices, right? Here I have three choices. Okay, now if I painted this particular cell, then here I have only two options left, right? If I paint this red, then I can choose green or blue. If I painted this as first this one as green, then I have choices red or blue, and if I painted this first one as blue, then I have choices as red and green. Okay, so only two choices here. Okay, in this box only two choices. So overall here 3 into 2, so total ways is going to be 6, right? So here these are the 6 ways, right? So here let's see these ways. So here you see red, green, okay, then red, blue, okay, then these two. Okay, now after that here see green and red and green and blue. Okay, and here blue and red and blue and green. Okay, so 6 ways, right? So I hope that you're clear, right? So the 6 possible colorings are shown in the image above. Okay, so that is done. All right, now see this example number 3. M is equal to 5 and n is equal to 5, so this is our output. Okay, very huge. So now in this problem you see the constants. Okay, so this is going to play a very important role for this problem, constants. So it is saying that your number of rows is from 1 to 5 only, very small, right? Your number of rows is very small, right? So here if this is your grid, okay, so number of rows is given as just 5. Okay, so let's take the maximum possibility, let's say it's 5. Okay, now this is done. Okay, number of rows is saying 5, so here let's say I give numbering like this 0 row, first row, second row, third row and fourth row. Okay, now columns very huge, right? 1 to 1000. Okay, so here let's say 0th column, first column. Okay, oh this stuff. All right, so here so many columns are there, right? So here I can say this is 0th column, first column, second column, third column, fourth column, and so many columns are there until 1000. Okay, until 1000. Okay, so you can say something like that. Okay, so 1000, it's saying 1000, so you can say instead of 1000 you can say 999. Okay, 999. Why? Because we are starting from 0 here, right? So that is why 999. All right, so this is done. Okay, so now here, now first let's, okay, so let's take this, let's take this first particular, this particular column. Okay, let's take this column. All right, all right, so this is one column, right? So now in this column, how many number of ways I can fill it? Okay, how many number of ways I can fill this? So here I have many options, right? If I use R here, then I can use here G. Okay, let's say I use G here. Next time let's suppose I use R here. Then next time let's suppose I use B here. Okay, so adjacent cells should be different, right? Right here, let's say I use G. Okay, so this is one valid scenario, right? So using this case, I can fill all these columns, right? I can fill all these columns, right, using this. So here, let's suppose if I pick this scenario first, in which this is my pattern, okay, or this is my current column state. Okay, so using this column state, I can fill remaining columns also. So here, if I want to fill this, so here I have just two choices, na? I can use green, blue, right? Here if it is green, then here red or blue. Here if it is red, then green, blue. Okay, here blue, so here I have choices red, green. Okay, and here it is green, so here I have choices red and blue. Okay, this is clear. But here one more thing, na, here also I need to make sure na, that adjacent cells should be different, right? So here if I'm using blue, then here I should not use this blue, right? This is what I need to make sure, right? Right, column wise. So here, from here, if I know the state of my first column, okay, starting column, using that state I can fill all other values, right? So here I'm taking column state, I'm not taking row state, because 1000 rows are there, 1000 rows are there. But if you see in this problem 1411, so here number of rows are n but columns are 3, so it's just opposite of this today's problem, just opposite of today's problem. Okay, so here I'm taking column state. In this problem you have to take the rows state. Okay, row state. So this is your homework, right? So just make a note of it. Okay, so here column state, right? This is done. So using this column state I can derive further columns, right? And I can find out the total number of possible ways, right? So instead of taking this big example, let's take one small example, right? Let me show you one small example of 3 into 3, right? So for 3 into 3 we are going to get output as 246. So I'm not going to show you all 246 ways, but I will show you some ways. Okay, so for 3 into 3, how we are going to do this, right? So here let's draw this 3 into 3. Okay, so here let's draw this 3 into 3. Okay, so this is your 3 into 3. All right, this 1 2 3, and here also this. Okay, so this is your 3 into 3, and if you give the rows, this is 0th row, first row, second row, 0th row, first row, second row. Okay, so first thing we have to find the number of ways in which we can fill this first, our starting point. Okay, I have to find the number of column states. Okay, so how many number of column states should be there? Okay, so here I have to find the number of different column states. Okay, so here I can choose R, G, B, or I can choose G, R, B. Okay, number of different patterns. Okay, so how we are going to calculate the total number of ways? First, number of different column states. Like this is one of the column states. I have to find the total number of column states. So here I have to fill total 3 now, 1 2 3. Okay, so if I want to fill this, so I have total 3 ways now. I can choose red, green, or blue. I have total 3 ways here. Okay, right, to fill this. Right now, if I am using any one color here, then here I have just only 2 options, right? 2 options, right? So here 2 ways only. Okay, and here also I have just 2 options, right? So if I'm choosing any one color here, then here I have 2 options, right? So here I will write 2 options. So in total you calculate 3 into 2 into 2, that is nothing but 3 into 2 is 6, 6 into 12, 12 ways. Okay, there are 12 column states that I can use here in this. Okay, and what are those column states? How we are going to find those column states? So it's very easy now. So here you can do this now. So initially you don't know the state, right? So here you can choose from R, you can choose from green, you can choose from blue. Okay, all right. So now here if you choose R first, okay, if you choose R first, this is going to be one path. If you choose green, then this is also going to be one path. If you choose blue, this is also going to be one path. Okay, now after R you can choose green, right, or you can choose blue. Okay, these are the two options. Same way, after green you can choose red. Okay, GR. After G you can choose green blue. Okay, this is also one way. And here after blue you can choose red or you can choose green, right, BG. Okay, done. Now same here, after this RG you can choose blue. Okay, RGB. You can also choose here red also, right, after green. Okay, it should not be green, but you can choose blue and red. Okay, same way here also you can choose RB, R. Okay, you can choose RBG, RBG. Okay, and here also you can choose what, you can choose GRG, you can choose GRB. Okay, same way here also GBR, or here you can choose GBG. Okay, same way here BRG, and here this you can say BRB also you can choose, right. And here if I just write to this side, so here you can place BGR, and here you can place BG and B. Okay, so in total how many are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 12 are there, right. So we have to note down all these 12. So here these are the different 12 patterns. Okay, so RGR. Okay, this RGR you can say this is at 0 index. Okay, so these are nothing but different column sets. Okay, 0 in but 1 index, 2 index, 3 index, okay, 4 index, then this is 5, then this is 6, then this is 7, then this is 8, this is 9, this is 10, and this is 11. Okay, this is done. All right, so now here we know what we can fill. Here we can start from RGR, we can start from RGB, we can start from RBR, we can start from RBG. Okay, so on. So there are total 12 ways, right. 12 ways to start from this. Okay, now here let's suppose if you choose RGR first. Okay, if you choose RGR first, RGR first. Okay, RGR. So let's fill here now. So here can I do one thing here? Let's just, okay, this now it looks good, right. So here I'm saying let's pick R, G and R first. Okay, RGR first. All right, so now if you place this RGR first, now after that you have to choose this. Okay, this, so again you have to iterate now. After this RGR, can I place RGB first? RGR. Okay, so RGR I can't place. Okay, I can't place RGR here. Okay, we can't place RGR here. All right, because same now adjacent. Okay, so these are the only column states that we can use. So RGR we can't use in this. Okay, we can use RGB. No, na, R is matching with R. Okay, no, we can't choose, right. So we can choose RBR. No, we can choose RBG. No, we can choose this GRG. GRG, yes, we can choose this GRG. Okay, we can choose this GRG. Okay, we can choose this GRG. All right. Okay, so now if I choose this GRG here, GRG, now I have to fill this. Okay, and here why we stop here, because only 3 length. Okay, here we have forming 3 into 3 now. So here see number of rows is 3 now, so that's why we have to stop here. Okay, we are not checking further. Okay, in this tree. All right, so this is simple question. But now after this RGR, after RGR we can fill GRG. Okay, I will just make sure now that this R is not matching with this G, this G is not matching with R, this R is not matching with G. Okay, this is one way. Okay, now if I choose this GRG, then again start from here. Can I choose RGR? Yes, I can choose RGR. Okay, after this, okay, I can fill RGR here. So this is one way. Okay, I filled this completely. So this is going to be one way, right? So we have to find out the total number of ways, right? So this is one way. Now here, okay, now we have to come back. Okay, so this is one way. I'm returning one way here. Now after this GRG, so here can I place RGB? RGB. Yes, I can place RGB also. Okay, so this is also valid, RGB. Okay, can I place RBR? RBR also I can place this after this, right? RBR. Okay, then can I place RBG? No, RBG, we can't place RBG. Okay, can I place GRB? No. GBR? No. Can I press GBG? No. Can I press BRG? No. Can I press BRB after this? No. Can I press BGR? Yes, BGR we can press. BGR we can press. Okay. Can I press BGB? BGB. Yes, BGB. We can also press this BGB. Right? B, G, and B. We can press. Okay. RBR we can press. RGB we can press. RGR we can press. Okay. So we can press all this. Right? Okay, so now here see what I'm doing. First initial state we are starting from RGR. Okay, RGR. So after RGR we are placing this GRG. Okay, and after GRG I can place this RGB. Okay, we can place this RGB. We can place this RGR. Okay, we can place RBR. We can place BGR, and we can place this BGB, right? BGB also we can place. All right, and BGB. Okay, now come out of loop. Okay, now there is no other pattern. Okay, so see, first RGR, then GRG, then there are 5 ways. Okay, so here I am filling this value. Okay, so memo 1 and 4, what does it show? Okay, so memo 1. Okay, so here after this, if you see, there are total 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's it. Okay, after this grg total 5 are there. So what I'm doing here, I'm storing this value 5 where in memo 1 or 4. Okay, now what is this memo 1 by 4? Memo 1 and 4. Okay, so what is this memo 1 for? So memo 1 means, here 1 means that after this grg how many number of columns we have to fill. Okay, so after only one is left now, only one is left, so that is nothing but the pending columns. Okay, 1. Okay, 1. And what does this 4 means? This 4 means at which index this grg is available. So right now grg is at 4. Okay, so here I'm saying that when my grg, when I'm going to use my grg which is at 4 index, okay, and after that only one column is left, then there are 5 ways. Okay, that is why I'm storing this in memoation. Okay, so I'm using recursion, and I'm also going to store this in memoation. Okay, so memo 1 4 means at 4 index I'm using some column state. Okay, and after that column state there are only just one column which we need to fill. Okay, there is only one empty position. Okay, so there are 5 ways to do that. Okay, so I'm storing this same way. This is for RGR. Now after this RGR, okay, here also RGR you are choosing GRG. You can also choose GRB now. Here also you can choose GRB. Then for this GRB also you have to find the number of ways. Okay, so here see RGR, after that you are using this GRB. Okay, let me just zoom it a little bit. Okay, let me go to this site. All right, so now after this RGR, if you choose GRB, then GRB RGR this is one way, GRB RBR this way, GRB RBG this way, GRB BGR this way, right? So base case hit with previous column index 10, then memo 1 5. So at 5, okay, I'm using the value at 5, that is nothing but this GRB. Okay, this GRB, right? GRB, and for this GRB how many ways? 4 ways. Okay, if only one is left, so I am storing all this. Okay, so from here also, if I just decrement the size, so from here also I am going to get some value. Same way from others also I'm going to get some value. Okay, and I'm going to return something here in total from all this when I'm choosing this as the initial RGR. Okay, so overall I will get here, if you see, this is 1 5. Okay, then again this is also starting from RGR. Let me just maximize. Again starting from RGR, then memo 1 5 we calculate again starting from RGR only. Okay, then we are going to calculate some base. Again starting from RGR we are going to calculate some base. Okay, again starting from RGR only we are going to calculate some base. So in the end, okay, we are going to get 23. Okay, so here starting from 0 index we are using RGR, and two are empty, so I am going doing the addition of this previous ones. Okay, so here I'm going to get 23. Okay, so here see 5, here 4, okay, then here 4, then here 5, then here 4, okay, then here 5. So what is the total sum you are getting here? This is repeated, right? This is repeated. RGR, GRB, GRB, RGR, and okay. So this is repeated. Now ignore this. Ignore this. Okay. So 5, 4, and ignore this 4. Okay. This is a repeated step. I think I take. Okay. So here see now RGR, GRG, RGR, GRB. So here RGR, GRB. We already took this. So ignore this. So RGR, I just copy paste this I think 2 times, that's why. And here after RGR, GBG is one way, then after RGR, BRG is one way, then after RGR, BRB is one way. So overall you are going to get 23. Okay, so overall you are going to 23. So 23 you are going to result store here for RGR. Same way next time you are going to start from RGB, placing RGB here, then you are going to get some total number of ways. Then next time this overall here you can do one thing. Okay, so here I have mentioned all the dry run steps. Okay, so if you want to go in much detail, much deep detail, okay, so you can go over this. Okay, so read it like this: first this, then this, then this, then here this, okay, then this. You can pause the video if you want, okay, to read these steps. Then this, okay, this one done. Once this is done, then come here, then study, take a look at this. Okay, this, then this, okay, then this, and then this. So overall you're going to get 2, 4, 6. Okay, so this is nothing but a debug statement I used, right? So this is how you have to solve this problem. Okay, very easy, nothing complex here. Okay, so let's write the code, right? Very simple. We are going to write the same thing that I've explained here. Okay, nothing complex. So now let's write the code for this problem 1931, and you are going to write the code for this 1411. This is your homework, and you are going to paste the solutions in the comment box. Okay, so let me write the code for 1931. All right, so here first thing that you need to do here, we have to calculate the column states. Okay, find out the column states. Okay, so create one list of string, right? So here let me just maximize the screen. All right, so here you have to write private list of string, and here you have to write column states. Column states is equal to new array list. Okay, done. And we will do one more thing here. We are using memoization now. So in memo I will store now, maybe in 1 4 we maybe requires in some other case, right? So here if I store this 1 4 is equal to 5 now, so here maybe there was a requirement. Okay, so see, in this transition there was this condition, so we can directly fetch the value now instead of calculating it again and again. So we will use memoization also. So here you can use private int memo, and then here mode value you can take private final int mode value is equal to 10 to the power 9 plus 7, right? So here 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. All right, done. Okay, this is done. Now after that, okay, so just write it outside. Okay, do one thing, just write it outside here. All right, so this is done. Let me just format the code. So now once this is done, okay, now inside this what you need to do here, so we have to generate the column states, right? So here what I'm going to do inside this, I'm going to write first column states, column states. Okay, we have to generate these column states. So can I use column states dot clear? Okay, let's use this first, column states dot clear, and then use this generate column states. Okay, we have to generate the column states. Generate column states. Okay, so here how we are going to generate, so initially it's going to be empty, right? And we have to generate the state, if you see here, m into n. Okay, right? M is nothing but the number of rows. So in these rows, okay, for a column on rows 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, so here I'm going to write m, that is nothing but number of rows, and here I will say hashtag. Okay, So this hashtag is nothing but it's showing that there is no priv color, right, initially. So that's what we need to do. Okay, so this is done. So now let's write the code for this generate column states here. All right, so let's do it side by side. Okay, so that you guys get better understanding. So here you have to write one void method. Okay, private void, and here generate column and states. Okay, and here you have to use string current column, and here you have to write remaining rows. Okay, rows remaining. Okay, and here I will write char priv color. Okay, done. All right, so I'm generating the permutations like this now, like this first. So rows remaining for this one. Okay, not like this but this one. Okay, so if I fill this now, so how many left? M minus 1. Okay, so if I fill these two, then how many left? M minus 2. Okay, so here if this is the case now, 1 2 3. Okay, total length is 3. So if I fill this, so here this is nothing but 3 minus 1 2, right? So this is the way. Okay, so that's why rows remain. All right, clear. Now after that, okay, so if your rows remaining becomes 0, that simply means that you have filled all the rows. Okay, that simply means that you have filled all this stuff. Okay, you have formed one valid pattern. Okay, so in that case you have to simply return from there. Okay, so here you can write if rows remaining equal to 0. In that case you have to simply do one thing. Here you can do column states. Okay, so here do one thing. In the column states we will add that. Okay, so we have already created this list of string. Okay, so here you have to do column states. Okay, dot add. Okay, and here inside this, what you need to do in the column states, you have to add this. Okay, so column states dot add, and here you have to pass the current column. Done. All right, so this is done. Now here after that, so how many colors we have? We have three colors, right? Red, green and blue. Okay, so just use one for each loop. Okay, for char color, right? And here new char array. Okay, so char, and in the char array we will pass the three colors. So let's say we are passing colors as R first. Let's say capital R. Okay, and then we are passing a green. Okay, oh, and one is blue, right? So let's pass blue. Okay, so this is done. Three colors we are passing, right? And then after that inside is, so if you have no, you don't have to pick the previous color. Okay, adjacent where cells should be of different color, right? So here you have to write if color is equal to priv color, then in that case simply continue. Okay, continue. Otherwise you have to again call this generate column states. Okay, generate column states, right? In this what you need to do, you have to add that color, right? So current column, okay, plus color. Okay, so here you have to write current column. Okay, in this current column you are just to add that color. Okay, color, and next time your rows will be decremented, right, if you feel that. Okay, so here row, okay, rows, and here you can say rows remaining -1, it will decremented. Okay, so this should be 1, and priv color. So priv color, this time you have to take the priv color as color. Okay, so this is done. All right, okay, this is done. All right, so this is done. We are calling this method. Okay, now this is done. So this is a method, simple method for recursively generating all the valid column colorings of the height m. Okay, such that no two vertically adjacent cells have the same color, right? This is done. Okay, now after that let's come to this piece of code. Okay, so here we have generated the colors. Now after that, here you can do one thing, right? So here we have to create one variable num column patterns. Okay, num column patterns. Okay, and here just pass the size of column states. Okay, whatever the size, column states dot size. Okay, pass this, and then once this is done, then after that here also just initialize the memoation. Okay, so here you have to write memo is equal to new int. Okay, right now all n are pending. Okay, right, so here you have to just pass the overall size now. So here n, and how many number of column patterns. Okay, so you have to pass this. All right, num column patterns. Here just one second, paste this. Okay, so why we are doing this? So here if you see, we are passing 1 and 4. Here 4 is coming from here now, so from all these column states. Okay, so that is why we are writing column patterns here, and here n. Okay, so how many are pending? Right, 1 2 3. So in total we have m into n, right? So m, okay, m is number of rows, and n, okay, n are pending, right? So that's what we are doing, right? So that's why. All right, so this is done. Now here initial do one thing, fill all the values in your memoation array with -1 initially. Okay, that simply means that we haven't updated anything yet. Okay, so iterate over all the rows in my memo one by one. All right, and here inside this you have to fill that with -1. Okay, so here arrays dot fill, and what you need to fill, you fill row with what value, with -1 value, right? So this is done. All right, so this is also done. Now once this is done, and here just we have to return the number of ways now. So create one variable result and set it to 0, right? And then we have to just iterate over, run one for loop. Okay, we have to check all these one by one. Okay, we have to first is that we have to first select this RGR, then we have to calculate number of ways, we have to then move to RGB, then we have to calculate number of ways, then we have to select this RBR, then we have to calculate number of ways. So we have to run one loop. Okay, so for all these one by one we are going to check, okay, all these column states. So here int I is equal to 0, I is less than num column patterns. Okay, and here I plus plus, and here inside this what you have to do, you have to update the result. Okay, so how you are going to update the result is equal to result. Okay, whatever the result you are going to get, and in that then you have to call one method. Okay, solve. So in this solve, what I'm going to pass, okay, I'm going to pass n-1. Okay, so here how I'm filling this n-1. Okay, so first let me write this n-1, and here you have to pass I, and then after that you have to pass m. Okay, and then just do the mode here. Okay, so mod, right? So now why I'm writing this n-1, I and m. Okay, so let's understand this. Okay, so here from here you have to just simply return the result. Okay, that's it. But we have to write the code for this solve. Okay, return result. Okay, so it is going to give the overall result. All right, so this is done here. So now here let's understand what we are passing here to this solve method. Okay, so here n-1 is nothing but the remaining columns. I is nothing but the prev column index. Okay, previous column index that we have used, and here we are just going to pass the value of m. Okay, m is nothing but the number of your columns, right? So this is what you need to pass. Now here let's write the code for this. Okay, so here very simple code for this one also. So here you have to write private int solve, and now here you have to pass int remaining calls, and here int prev column index, and here you have to pass m value. Done. Okay, now here inside this, first if your remaining columns become equal to 0, then simply you have to return 1. That simply means that is one way, right? So here if you see RGR, GRG and RGR. Okay, so we have filled all three. So from here I'm returning 1 because this is one possible way, because after that there is nothing left, right? So that's what I'm going to write here. So here if remaining calls is equal to 0, right? Then in that case return 1. Okay, and here just write if memo, here I'm writing a remaining calls, right? Remaining calls, and what was the value we used in previous column index? Okay, so here we have to write priv column idx. Okay, so if this value is not equal to -1, okay, that simply means that we have pre-calculated this value in the past. Okay, so in that case you have to simply return what? Simply return this value now, memo of remaining columns and priv column index. Okay, so here just let me copy this and here just paste it. Okay, done. Return memo of remaining calls, and after that we are passing priv column index. All right, now it looks good. And here also do this now. 1 second. Okay, this is done, right? So we have to just return this from here, right? So now once this is done, then after that come here we have to calculate the total waste. So here create one variable total waste, right? And initially set it to 0. Then after that take one priv column. Okay, so we have to take the string of priv column. Okay, so string priv column is equal to column states. Okay, column states dot get, right? So here you have to pass the priv column index. Okay, so priv column idx. Okay, so you are going to get the previous column string, right? Column states dot get. Okay, this is done. Now after that you have to find the next possible way, right? So here if I fixed this rgr, the next time I have different ways na, grg, grb, or so many ways. Okay, so again I have to start checking from here, right? So run one loop again. So here what you need to do, run one loop. Okay, so for here inside this you have to write int next column index, next column index. Okay, set it to 0, and then next column index, it should be less than the column states dot size, right? So different number of column states, right? Column states dot size. And then after that, once this is done, then here you have to just increment this now, next column index plus plus, right? This is done. Now just create one more string. Okay, next column string next column, and then we have to verify whether we can use this string next column or not. Okay, so here again column states dot get, and here you have to pass next column index. Okay, next column idx. Okay, so this is done. So we are getting the next column, and here also do one thing, create one boolean valid variable. Okay, so in order to make sure that whether we can use this or not. Okay, so here set it to true. Okay, we can use it. Then I'm going to check the horizontal adjacency, no same color in the same row across adjacent columns. Okay, so for that just run one loop for int row is equal to 0, and here row is less than m. Okay, it should be m, n into m, right? So here after that r plus plus, and here you have to write if priv column dot char at r. Okay, if it is matching with next column dot char at r. Okay, so in that case you have to simply update your value to false. Okay, false, and then you have to just simply break it now from here, no need to check further. All right, so this is done. Okay, so now here your for loop ends, and here just check if it is valid. Okay, so if it is valid, then you have to update the total waste, right? So how you are going to update total waste? So total waste is equal to total waste plus total waste plus, and then you have to again call this solve, okay, for the remaining portion. So in the solve, what you are going to pass, you are using this way, so remaining columns will be decremented. So here remaining AINING remaining cols -1, right? And then next column index you have to pass, okay, next column index, okay. So here if you are using that, okay, so if after RGR if we are using GRG, so this is going to be your next pre column index for all these, right? So here, that is why I am passing this next column index here, okay. So in this pre column index value I am passing the next column index, right? It's clear? Okay, so now this is done. We are going to pass this, and here just pass M value and just do the mode, okay. So here mode, done. Okay, this is done. Now here this is done, this is done, and now last line, okay. So we have to just simply return from here what we have to return, nothing but total ways, okay, total ways. And let's do one thing here, store this total ways value in the memo, okay, so that we don't calculate again and again same thing, okay. So here you have to write a memo, okay, and here in this you have to operate what remaining call index, okay. So here you can pass remaining calls, and here you have to pass priv column index, okay. So priv column, okay. So this is what we are passing now, remaining columns and the previous column index that we are using, okay. So column, right, and here IDX column index, okay. So this is done for this, okay. Now let's run the code and see if the encodation will try to fix that. So we are getting memory limit exceed error. So let's see why we are getting that. Here now we are not return from here now. So if rows remaining 0, then you have to return now. That is why you are getting this memory limit exceed error. Let's run it again and see if there are any other issues. So yeah, nice. So all the test cases has been accepted, right? So here let's do one thing. Let's create one test case of 3 into 3, right? 3 into 3, the output is going to be 246, right? So let's run it. So see, for this 3 into 3, output is 246, okay. Now let's submit it. So I hope that you guys are able to understand today's problem, and if you guys still have any doubts, then please feel free to ask in comment section. Till then, keep coding and keep practicing. Meet you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.